Alright, so in this video we're actually going to be focusing on expanding the logs. Previously we condensed the logs and now we're going to expand them. So looking at number 27 here, let's make note that inside the parentheses, everything is being multiplied together. So for this you use product rule, which means this is going to go from multiplication to addition. So we're going to start with log base 6 of x, since that's the first one right there, plus log base 6 of y plus log base 6 of z to the fourth. Okay, and now there's only one thing left to do. Because we have this exponent of 4, I need to move it in front of this log right here. That is called power rule. So on the next line, we're going to get log base 6 of x, this one has not changed, plus log base 6 of y, that one has also not changed, plus 4 log base 6 of z. I moved the exponent in front of the log. And then this is the final answer. I can do a better box than that. There we go. Now you can actually read it. So now let's look here at number 28. So notice this one now has division. If it's division, it's going to be subtraction. So the first line is going to be log base 4 of a to the ninth minus log base 4 of b. So, just like in the last problem, we have this exponent right here of 9, and I want to move that in front of the log. That is the power rule. So our final answer is going to be 9 log base 4 of a minus log base 4 of b. And yeah, that cannot be expanded any further. Final answer. Let's look here at number 29. We got a few things going on here. Because inside of our parentheses, these are being multiplied. We also got some exponents right here. And there's also an exponent outside the parentheses. So we actually need to take care of that first. So first, we're going to have 2 times the log base 7 of q to the fourth r squared. Okay? Took care of that first exponent. Now let's take care of the multiplication right here that we had inside of our original parentheses. So now we're going to have 2 times the log base 7 of q to the fourth plus, remember you're going to add them since this is the product property, and then log base 7 r squared. Okay, now we have to take care of these exponents. So on the next line, we still have that 2. 2 times 4 log base 7 of q plus 2 log base 7 of r. Alright, and you could leave it at this point, but why not take it one step further? So we're going to take this 2 and actually multiply it to the 4 and 2 in front of each of the logs. So your final answer is actually going to be 8 log base 7 of q plus 4 log base 7 of r. This is as simplified and expanded as we are going to get. Looking at 30. So very similar to the last problem, we have the exponent outside of the parentheses. So let's take care of that first. So now we're going to have 2 log base 2, and then inside the parentheses we had y divided by z to the fifth. So now that we moved the exponent, let's take care of these parentheses here. It has division, so that is now going to become subtraction. So now we're going to have 2 log base 2 of y And I should have put this in parentheses to begin with. I apologize. And then now it's going to be minus log base 2 of z to the 5th, close parentheses. Okay, so now we have the subtraction. I need to take this exponent right here and move it in front. So now we have 2 log base 2 of y minus 5 log base 2 of z. And just like the last problem, we're going to take the 2 that is being multiplied out front and go ahead and multiply it to both of the logs. So your final answer is going to be 2 log base 2 of y minus 10 log base 2 of z. And then this is your final answer for this one. Looking at number 31, we're going to throw a radical in there. So just a friendly reminder, if you have the square root of x, this can also be written as x raised to the 1/2 power. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first before we even try to expand this. So we're going to have log and then use parentheses, keeps everything in order. So log of 7x to the 3rd, and now that's going to be raised to the 1/2. I just took the radical and put it in exponent form. So now we can take this exponent and move it in front of the log. So now we're going to have 1/2 times the log of 7x to the 3rd. And I'm going to keep that in parentheses. And make note that this right here is being multiplied, so we're going to change that to addition. So now we're going to have 1/2, and then use parentheses, as always, log of 7. There's no base indicated, so we can assume that it's base 10, but you don't have to write base 10. And then plus log of x to the 3rd, close parentheses. So now we have this exponent to take care of and move it in front of the log. So right here, it's going to be 1/2 times log of 7 plus 3 log of x. And then final step in the problem is you're going to multiply 1/2 to each of these. So your final answer is going to be 1/2 log of 7 plus, and then 3 times 1/2 is just going to be 3 over 2 log of x. Final answer for that one. And then our final example here. So for this one, we actually have a 4th root. So that one is, say you have the 4th root of x. That one is then rewritten as x to the 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to have log base 3 of m to the 5th n squared raised to 1/4. So therefore, on the next line, I'm going to have the 1/4 move to the front. So, oops, I forgot to put my equal sign. There you go. 1/4 times log base 3 m to the 5th n squared, close parentheses. So now, let's look at what we got here. It's being multiplied, so now they're going to be added. So we have 1/4 times log base 3 m to the 5th plus log base 3 of n squared. Alright, so now both of these have an exponent that needs to be moved in front of the log. So on the next line, we're still going to have 1/4 times 5 log base 3 of m plus 2 log base 3 of n. And so now, final step, you're going to take that 1/4 and multiply it to the 5 and the 2. So 1/4 times 5, that's just going to give me 5 over 4 log base 3 of m plus 2 times 1/4 is actually going to simplify down to 1/2 log base 3 of n. And then this is your final answer.